All right, so a question came up from the demo we did about putting text into a Unity scene, and I just wanted to do a follow-up with that. So I'm going to hit play. This is slightly different than our other video because I just built a new project. But the idea in this one is if we're going to move the main camera, the text is going to go with it. And so the question was, well, I want some text to go with my camera, and I want some text to not go with my camera. So what do I do? And so what we're going to do is create a second canvas. Right now we have a canvas here. And remember, when we have our canvas, we selected screen space camera for our render mode, which means all of this text is always going to be rendered on that camera. So if I create a new UI, new canvas, we can have different properties associated with that. And then we can actually have some different text that behaves differently. So in this case, we're going to do screen space, world space, and I am going to right-click on canvas, go UI, and new text. So this text is going to be a child of this canvas, which means it's going to have all the properties that's associated with this canvas. Now this gets a little bit bizarre when we go into world space. So if I scroll back, let me see, where is this text? I'm going to make it a different color so we can actually sort of see it. I'll make it this purple color again. And it's way up here. It's like super gigantic. And so if we were to position this canvas into our scene, we will have this new text that's super gigantic. And when I hit play, it's super gigantic, right? Which is all kinds of weird. But what we need to do is we need to scale. So here's our camera. And we're going to need to scale down this canvas because this canvas is pretty huge. It's like way out here. And this is how the size that we're rendering. So if I just come over here with my canvas selected, this is the canvas that's going to stay in place. And I come over to scale. If I change my X, Y, and Z to 0.01, now I have a much smaller canvas as my secondary canvas. And the text is there. And so now we can make this text, whatever size or whatever font we want, because here's the properties of that piece of text. So if I want to make it a little bit bigger, we can do that. And again, I'm just changing the font size over there. And then now, if I move my main camera, that piece of text doesn't move because that's associated with a different canvas, with this canvas that has different properties. So this has a render mode of world space, whereas this canvas has a render mode of screen space camera. So you can have multiple canvases. You can have as many canvases as you want, pretty much. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a limit somewhere, but you can certainly have several, and have them have different behaviors, and they can each have different text, like this text stays still. And it's kind of bizarre when I say this text stays still. Maybe I need to increase the width of this thing, because it is staying still in our world. Although when we move our camera, it kind of looks like that's the one that's moving. But remember, it's staying still relative to the other things in our scene. This one is going to follow the camera around. This one is not. Stay still. All right. So I hope that answers the question. It is a little bit confusing, but I think once you get used to using multiple canvases, everything will go good.